Welcome everybody to this week's KubeVirt community meeting. It is June the 3rd, 2026. Wherever and whenever you are, I hope you're having a good day of it. Let me just find out where my chat window is. I'll paste the agenda into there. If you're just joining us, if you could please put your name down in the attendees here, so we have a vague idea of who is attending these meetings. And speaking of vague idea of who's attending these meetings, is there anyone who is new this week and would like to take a minute just to introduce themselves? I'll take that as a no. Then let's move on. So our schedule 1.9, we are racing towards the 1.9 release. And if it's June, then we are in the month of our code freeze. Let me just find it. The 24th. So what's that? 3 weeks away. 3 weeks time, we'll have the KubeVirt code freeze. So expect the community in general to get extremely busy, basically for the next little bit. We are still on track for the 22nd of July as our GA date. Also, we have an unconference date. We'll get to that in just a moment. CFPs. I know the KubeCon North America one has passed. I'm just going to leave it here for a little while, just because there are a few other deadlines. There's the Maintainers Summit, there's project opportunities. Also, it's the easiest way for me to find the thing for other details. And so, for very selfish reasons, I'm just going to leave it here for a little while. But CFPs that are still open, we have DevOps Days Barcelona, which we just found out about today. So even though it's the other end of the year, it's the middle of November, its CFP date is the 15th of June. I had to triple check that just to make sure it didn't say July. It is, yeah, really soon. We also have Open Source Summit Europe, which is the 24th of June. That is in October. And then KVM Forum. There was an email on our mailing list as well to that if you want some more information. So it'll also be in the middle of November, but its CFP date is the 31st of July. And if you happen to know of any CFPs that are currently open that might be interesting to the community at large, please let me know and I'll add them here and other people can potentially apply. As far as events that KubeVirt will be at, we have DevConf, which is in a couple of weeks. Yes, and we have those are, I believe, all the talks. And we have a booth, Arel.
There is actually one more called To InfiniBand and
Alrighty. To InfiniBand and beyond. I'm just gonna put that there so that I remember it later. Also, we have a KubeVirt talk accepted into KubeCon, Cloud Native Con Japan, which will be at the end of July. If you or someone that you know is going to be presenting about KubeVirt, or if you're just talking about stuff, we'll throw it in here as well. If you're a regular contributor to our community. We'd like to track these things, and then other people find out about it, and then you can meet up, and it's one of the most important things about traveling and getting to talk at conferences. Next stop is our calendar. Very slowly loading. Okie dokie. So tomorrow, aside from our regular meetings, we have the AIE, the Accelerated Infrastructure Enablement Working Group, which is a fortnightly meeting. And the next Tuesday is our VEP discussion. And next Wednesday, we have our DRA meeting. So those are all fortnightly meetings that don't happen all the time. Hopefully the DRA meeting is set up properly this time and there are no more issues with people not being able to get into the room. Yeah. And while we're here, I know there is I think I put it on the agenda or the other thing that's like the agenda light. But down here on the 30th at 12 o'clock UTC, we have the KubeVirt version 1.10 unconference. So I didn't hear any issues with that date. So we're going ahead with that. That is between our code freeze and our GA date. So it's slightly less messy. All right, let's get on with the agenda. Enough of me. Daniel, what you got?
Hey, hope you can hear me well and see me probably. Okay, good. I was just wanted to follow up here and raise a bit of attention about the mailing list discussion that we just started. So we had a lively discussion this morning about the no flake check decorator, which basically skips tests that have this decorator on the check test for flakes lane. So the no flake check decorator basically is suited for tests that are not fit to run on the check test for flakes lane, which means basically that the check test for flakes lane might not support the infrastructure that is required to run the test. This is in a couple of sentences just the essence of that. So what we wanted to discuss on the mailing list is how we are going to evolve that. First of all, raising attention about that, it's clearly said that this decorator is for tests that are not compatible with the lane, and it should be used for legitimate purposes, not for, i.e., decorating flaky tests, for example, which is not a good idea. But yeah, what I can suggest, or at least, or what I wanted to put into discussion is that we might expand on the number of test lanes that have the ability to check flaky tests, i.e., for example, have more than one lane basically that can check with the required infrastructure, for example, for network tests. So that's just, I'm just putting this idea into the room, and so please follow up on the mailing list on that. I don't want to waste too much time here. I just want to raise attention that I basically think that the check test for FlexLane is a worthwhile investment. It keeps our tests stable, and we should expand at least to the number of tests that are being run in the required Kubernetes lane so that we increase or maximize the stability of the tests. That's just my opinion. But yeah, please let's continue the discussion either on the mailing list or Jet. I just saw your hand raised, so maybe you can say something directly.
Yeah, I just wanted to quickly chime in. I believe I'm responsible for this decorator. And yeah, the idea behind it was that if you use it because, like Daniel said, your test is not compatible with whatever is in the flake check lane, you should have a version like dedicated to the flake checker that does basically the same thing but is compatible. At least that was the spirit when I introduced it.
Yeah, again, so I think that, yeah, I remember that you introduced that one, and I think that is very worthwhile to have it. But on the other end, I think we might think about like expanding the reach of the check test for FlexLane, because several people have pointed out in a previous discussion that the lane is very helpful to find flaky tests. So yeah, at least to try to increase the reach of the lane, or create another lane that might fit then like the infrastructure. But I'm repeating myself, so I think we should probably continue the discussion on the mailing list.
Alrighty, thank you. We already talked about the unconference, but there's also the KubeVirt Summit. So this is to be confirmed, but it looks like we'll be going ahead on October the 15th. Okay, so a couple of things on the open floor. I noticed these on the Slack, KubeVirt Dev Slack. They seemed important, and I wasn't sure how much attention they were getting. And I don't want them to get lost. I saw this on the Slack channel. Someone was saying that they were having an issue with their upgrade, and they think it related to this. And this, yes, about 6 months old. It seems as though that the solution is no, but I just wasn't sure. It's still an open issue. So I just wanted to raise awareness to that and to this one. This install strategy. And I think this has a partner PR as well. If I remember the comment correctly on Slack, this person was saying that they thought they must be misunderstanding how the install process, because it didn't seem like, what was the word? It seemed like too large and simple a fix. I think too high impactful and too simple a fix. But yeah, we won't go into it now, but just to put them there for more eyes. Fan, you've got something that you want to talk about.
Yes. So yeah, I fired an issue regarding to a new feature request. So I wanted to expose the Virt launcher pod metadata to the hook and a hook sidecar and the networking binding sidecars through the downward APIs. So so the problem is that some sidecars, including hook sidecars and networking binding sidecars, need access to the pod metadata, especially the labels and annotations. In order to integrate that correctly with the internal system, so for example, hook sidecar may need to read the metadata injection by the scheduler, and a networking component, device plugin, etc. But usually the sidecar doesn't have the RBAC or credential to access the API servers. So in this case, we really relies on the downwards API mount volumes. But this one doesn't support it in current implementations. However, I noticed that the downward API is actually there is API for the network binding downwards type, but only devices information. I wanted to extend this API to the slides so that we can support multiple metadata like port information. So we can support the labels and the annotations. So that's basically a scope of this work. And as a part of this implementation, I created a PR to address a concrete example to support the hook sidecar. For example, when we use the hook sidecar, we wanted to populate we wanted to mount the annotations and the labels to the hook sidecar. That is a PR. That's a PR. Yeah, I linked in the PR need attention. Yeah, so yeah, just wanted to raise this discussion, wanted to collecting some feedback.
Can I ask if your binding plugin can support DRA, possibly instead of using device plugin?
It doesn't. Yeah, I think it doesn't. It doesn't. It has. It doesn't matter with device plugin or DRA, or I misunderstood. So this one is for the hook sidecar injection. Hook sidecar. It's just for the hook sidecar or devices network devices plugin.
But do you need to expose? Do you need to expose device information?
I mean the device information. Device information is already implemented right now. This is
So what
network
kind of
binding
information?
sidecar.
What kind of information do you need in your sidecar? Because we are now aware of requirements to get device information into the sidecar. But you're saying that the information that you need is not device information, right?
Yeah. So currently the device's information is supported for the network binding sidecar, right? Network binding sidecar.
Right, but which information do you need to pass to the sidecar?
I wanted the annotation and the labels.
We will need to consider it, and I think that if we do that, it will require a VEP.
Yeah, that makes sense. I just wanted to raise that. I can open the web and can move the discussion there.
But I think that no security breach that we're exposing pod information to the sidecar. We need to address that.
Yeah, it's optional. Yeah, I think it can be on and off, opt in and off for by some mechanism. For example, yeah. So currently in the PR for the hook sidecar, I let it gated by the volumes. It only added the pod information annotation and labels volume when the downstream API is explicitly mounted. Does that partially address your concern?
I'm not sure that I understand the whole context, but if you submit a VEP, we can understand the problem and what it's trying to solve. Then we can probably have this conversation over the VEP.
Yeah.
Or you can join the we have a biweekly meeting for INSIG network on Mondays. Once every 2 weeks. I think the next one is not next week, but the week after on Monday. So you can join this call and present it there. Present your idea there.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good. So yeah, so the issue covers two things. One is for the network binding plugin sidecars. That is directly relating to the network. The other one is hook sidecars is more general.
Just note regarding general hook sidecars, please look at VEP number 190 that it will implement the new mechanism for sidecars, a more generic mechanism that might be more useful for you. You can take a look at it.
Gotcha. Sounds good. Yeah, thank you.
Ed, do you want to add to that?
So first of all, based on what I'm seeing here, this is more about the hook sidecar and not about the network plugin. And my only 2 cents about the hook sidecar is that most likely if you want to change there something, it will probably reject it. It will be rejected because we do not like this hook at all. It has some major problems to be used because everyone you could inject there anything that you want there. And if you the only thing that you need is to add another download API, for example, to add some information that is generic or is very, very specific to you, then I suggest you use either mutating admission policy or a webhook. That should work for you. So if you can use that once, it would be better. If you have a very specific use case that can interest everyone, then you could go on and propose the web, because then it will help everyone to maybe to have this information.
All right.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, sorry, I was muted. Yeah, just a more general question. So in this case, does the community have the plan or intention to to get rid of the hook sidecar completely, or do you have some long-term roadmap?
The VEP 190 is a long-term roadmap for hook sidecars.
Okay, so the Web 190.
I've put it into chat.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
It looks like we have a couple of PRs that need attention.
Yeah, so that's a PR related. I filed a PR to the hook sidecar. Yeah.
Gotcha. So I've already looked at them. Did we look at this one as well, 1740? I don't think we did. Yeah, it's had a bit of attention in the past. Okay. Yeah, as I said, it has an LG10. Is anyone else able to have a look at this? Updates to instance types.
Hey, hello everyone. This PR is from my side, and I also wanted to ask that in the Google Groups discussion that where they started the decoupling of K8s and KubeVirt client agents. So, is there any initiative from the community to bring that to other packages as well, or uh, the or this is where the initiative ends?
Sorry, I missed what's the question?
I was asking that in the Google groups where the discussion was started to decouple the K8 and KV clients in the repository. So I asked there a bunch of times whether we need to move on to other packages as well, but I think everyone was busy there. So if I could get an answer here.
Yeah, I will reply there. But yeah, usually the idea is to do that for all the packages. I do remember that there should be one PR from my side, which should also helps the the others PR. But yeah, the idea is, the general answer is yes, we need to do that on on the project level. This is the instance type, and there are also other packages that needs to do that. I think that maybe the issue is just that people are too busy to do that. But yeah, of course I will answer that in the group.
Okay, thanks. Yeah.
Thank you. Apologize for the long time.
Thank you. Daniel, you've got the last point here. A poll.
Yeah, basically the thing is, the current CXCI meetings are concentrated in the morning, which is basically makes people from US time zones unable to attend, or they get up very, very early or in the middle of the night, which is not favorable, I think. So that's why we were trying to somehow find a couple of times that might at least partially work for people from outside Europe, somehow like rather compatible with the US time zones. From what I understand at the moment, like at least there might be then that more participation. I've just created this poll as an example. Don't please take this. I think it was the 30th of May, which I just noticed afterwards that is basically the unconference day. Obviously, no one will have time to suggest the time slot there. Just take it as an example how you generally normally have time over the week or something like that. That hopefully that helps.
Just wanted to quickly point out that your poll spans 2 weeks, and so it's confusing. If this is a more generic thing, it should probably just be 1 week.
Yeah, my idea on that was that I would want to try somehow, maybe we could alternate between every other week at least, so that people might be able to take we might even like put one like 2 weeks alternating time slots. For example, we keep one in the morning, and the next one would then be in the afternoon, something like that, so that we have the majority of people somehow covered, that they at least can attend one bi-weekly meeting with regard to CI matters. That was my idea. Sorry if I didn't really explain that well enough on that one.
All good. Need to drop for sick compute. Bye.
Yep. That brings us to the end of this. We'll wrap it up real quick. Thanks a lot, everybody. See you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. See you. Bye.